another episode of the Unapologetically Michelle Show, where we celebrate people for being brilliant, fabulous, gorgeous, and talented. Those individuals that are out doing great things in the world, and we want to be able to highlight, support, and celebrate them. So today on our show, we have Brittany Cherelle. Brittany, why don't you introduce yourself to our listening and viewing audience?
Hey y'all, it's your girl. I am the co-owner and owner of two production companies, Indie JP Productions and Boss Lady Media, where we are making history in film theater, TV, music, and photography. I myself am a writer, director, producer, author, and actress.
I mean, that's a whole lot. That was a whole mouthful there, Brittany. So, jumping right into our conversation, I know that like me, you are creative. And so when creatives get into a room, we can't help but to talk about the various things that we've got going on. So I understand that you have a book that was recently released. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I have a book. It's called Every Her King, and basically it's an inspirational book dedicated towards women, but it's good for men to read too. Just give us some tips on connecting our relationship with our natural king and with our heavenly king, and just some of those core revelations and some tips to help you with both of those relationships.
Stick and stay as we take a brief commercial break. Every Queen Deserves Her King is an inspirational book based on relationships and explores the relationship women have with their heavenly king. It speaks to how a woman's relationship with God correlates to the relationship with their earthly king. Read this inspirational and motivational book by Brittany Cherelle Preston that includes scriptures, food for thought, prayers, and activities that explores the thought of how you allow your natural king and heavenly king to profess, provide, and protect you. Be sure to pick up your copy today. Now back to our conversation. So what made you decide to want to write that particular book?
I was really going through some things with myself, my relationships, and it really was just inspired by God. God really just gave it to me and gave me the words, and I used a lot of personal experiences in the book as well. And yeah, just hearing from God and what He wanted, me to put out there to help other women.
So how can anybody get a hold of the book?
Yeah, so it is available on Amazon, on my website, and actually on my website, deservesherking.com.
Okay. So you said that you work in film and you produce, you write, you act. So, I mean, it's the whole gamut. What got you into that particular creative community?
Well, Michelle, I actually started acting when I was about 7 years old. And it's funny because I was like really quiet and reserved, but when I got on stage, it was totally different. So I loved doing theater when I was young. And so, I went after acting and modeling as I got older. Never made the big leagues, moved out to Hollywood or anything. But then later saw this avenue of where I could do my own independent film that actually I produced the first one did called Unequally Yoked, but it was actually written by my mother, Brittany Preston. And so, yeah, got into doing that and just kicked off since then. People just, been wanting more. And so been writing and producing my own films since then.
So I hear that Unequally Yoked #2 has come out.
Yep, Unequally Yoked #2. And then we also did a spinoff to that called The Bell Family Christmas that was released this past November.
So tell us a little bit about the Unequally Yoked series. What is that about, and what is the message that you're trying to get across to the audience?
Yeah, so it goes into like three different scenarios, relationship types, because you can be unequally yoked to any type of relationship, whether it's a friendship, your boyfriend, girlfriend, family, whatever. So just has a couple different scenarios and talks about the choices that we make with being unequally yoked with that, other person.
Okay. Why did you come up with the second part to it? What did you hope the second part would help bring out, opposed to just letting part one be out in the community for people to enjoy?
Yeah, so actually, when part one was written, there was no thoughts in my mother or me's head about doing a part two. But our cast and the people that watched it was like, you can't just leave us hanging with this. So it was actually came from the community that wanted a part two, and so we said, okay, in part two, we want to tie all the different scenarios together, so you kind of see them bring together in part two.
So, what is your favorite part in either or both of the plays?
Wow. Let's see.
Or the most inspirational?
Okay, yeah, the most inspirational is definitely where there's a young man that's in both parts that, was kind of out in the streets and was trying to pull his best friend out into that life as well, to trying to get him to be able to have more money and stuff like that. But he ends up getting saved at the end of part two. So that's definitely was a good moment there.
So, in that, what was the message that you wanted to get out to the audience? I know, even as a writer myself, we always have an intention behind what it is that we're writing. So, that particular scene, for it to be so inspirational, what was the intention behind that particular aspect of the play?
So, the whole thing is just for people to kind of take a look at their relationships and see, is this somebody that is supposed to be in my life? Somebody that's, going to be able to help go to the next level with me. And to know that, God is real and, God is in everything. And, if you're don't have a relationship with him, to get one.
Stick and stay as we take a brief commercial break.
Now, I know that you've strayed for the past several years, but I want you to know that God is calling you, and it's time for you to come back to Him.
Come on.
When is he going to get the picture? Baby, have you heard from Dante at all? When don't I hear from Dante? If he ain't blowing up my phone, he's banging at my door.
Candy, can I talk to you for a moment, please? Been unequally yoked. Where are the problems again?
There's something I need to talk to everyone about. Last month when I went to the doctor, He told me that my cancer is progressing.
I thought you were doing better, and the cancer was in remission.
I just don't want you to feel alone through this. Lori, I'm not alone in this. God has us. And you heard what James said. Whose report should you believe?
Unequally yoked. Problems at hand.
God is good all the time. Yes, He is. Yes, He is. My God is good all the time. Yes, He is.
Okay, baby, what's got you so happy and chipper?
You know what they say. Jesus paid all, my friend.
Hey, everybody out here talking about how Black Lives Matter, but Black Lives Matter gotta start with us.
Been unequally yoked.
I'm going to be okay. But what you can do is pray.
Been unequally yoked. Problems at hand.
Now back to our conversation. So I want to jump over to your book right quick because you said something when you were describing it. You said that you had shared some of your personal life experiences in the book in hopes that it would help someone. Let's talk about what that looked like for you, because I know, as you said before, being unequally yoked could be in love relationships, familial relationships, regular friendships. So what example can you share with us today that will be able to help our listening and viewing audience understand more of what the book is about?
Yeah, sure. So I say one of the big things for a lot of women is that, unfortunately, we've had to be kind of that strong, dominating role in our lives, take care of everything, right? Everything on our shoulders, especially, when you have to throw kids in there and everything like that. So some of the things is it's a man grows up believing that it's his role to profess, provide, and protect, right, for the people in his life. So if you're already doing those things for yourself, where does he feel like he fits in? And that's the same thing with God. If you're already, he's telling you to be patient and wait, but you to go and try to fix things on your own, then how are you letting him be in the God of your life? So.
Okay, so you gave me 3 P's. You said protect, provide, and
protect.
So why those 3 particular things are you bringing that out in the book?
From experience and from research and reading other things, those are just some of the core 3 things that men are when they're growing up, like they're raised up as to be the provider and to be the protector and to be this strong person, and so those are the things that they're being brought up, taught that they should be doing. So when that's taken away from them, they kind of feel like less than,
or you don't need them.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So the message that you are portraying and getting across to the reader, what is that as it relates to them, a man needing to have the understanding and the feeling that he is needed in the woman's life? So what message are you trying to get across to women in order to ensure that when Mr. Right comes along, that you are not overshadowing what it is that he's trying to bring into the relationship?
Right, exactly. So, we know we're strong. We know we can do it. We know we can fix the sink. We can, do this, and that. But when it comes to, the relationship, we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And we got to be able to stand up and be the man that we need to be. And but let him do it. Let him know that you are needed, that he's wanted and needed there as well, that he has, that he's not just there,
that he has a place, a foothold
right,
in not only her life, but he has reason to be in the relationship.
right, exactly.
So from what it is that you wrote about in the book, what do you have to say to these women that says, well, I don't need a man?
I mean, if you're happy with doing everything yourself and you don't need and we don't need a man, but if you desire a spouse, then peel back some of those layers, show some of that softness, and let them feel some of those things in your life that you need done. Let them be there for you. And sometimes it's hard for us to let go of control of everything, especially women. We like things a certain way and everything. So I know sometimes it's hard for us to let go of that control, but it's about a partnership and having that partner.
That is so key, partnership. So what does partnership look like for you?
For me, it looks like, a 50-50 relationship. You give and you take, and really coming together to build something great. It's all about communication. That's one of the that's in my book, is really having that communication and, what you want, where you're at, and where you want to go together.
So as I kind of see a theme running through not only the play, but also the book, really helping individuals to find their place and then honoring the space that they're in. Did I get that right?
Yes.
So one of the things that I learned about you is that you love to inspire women. I know the book is one of your key points of inspiration, but what are some other ways that you utilize your skills, your talents, and your abilities to inspire women and other individuals?
Yeah, so what I've been doing a lot of lately is kind of mentoring other people and other ladies that want to get into, whether it's acting or production, things like that. Just really being a mentor for them and showing them different things and teaching them about that field.
So if someone really wanted to reach out to you and find out more information about that arena, that creative arena, how would they reach out to you?
Yeah, so you can email me at bossLadyMed@gmail.com.
Okay, bossLadyMed@gmail.com.
Yes, they can also connect with me on social media. Facebook is official Brittany Cherelle, and Instagram is official_Brittany Cherelle.
Okay, so take a break here. Everybody stick and stay. We will be right back after these commercials.
It's Christmas! Good morning, beautiful people. Your favorite auntie is here. This house is absolutely screaming.
I'm so damn tired of hearing about this news. But you know what's gonna happen when mom and dad find out.
And that's why they're not gonna find out, are they?
Oh, damn! I told you I knew her from somewhere. Hey, what y'all looking at?
We got our mouth shut.
Man, look. Y'all can't say nothing.
So y'all don't believe me?
No.
Oh, not my baby.
Harmony.
Oh.
You know what? You drink too much, and you always start trouble, and you always start trouble.
There's freedom in forgiving, amen? And on the other hand, there's bondage in not forgiving.
Can you forgive your auntie?
The Bell family is a family that prays, trusting in God, whatever comes my name. In the good times, bad times, God will see us through, for we are a strong, strong, strong
Now back to our conversation. I just want to jump in, and we've talked about what it is that you do, Brittany. We've talked about your creative side. Now I just want to talk to Brittany. Brittany, the woman, Brittany, the daughter. Who is Brittany? What is it that we don't already know about you?
I love to travel. I'm a travel enthusiast, I guess you could say. I've been to a lot of different countries and states. So that's one thing that I love to do in my free time.
So I know you had mentioned earlier that you and your mom, you learned all of this business by watching your mom. How has she inspired you to keep moving forward in this arena?
So my mom was a writer as well. So I just naturally as well in writing. And so, it's funny because we'll be, bouncing ideas off each other, and it's just like we have like the same like vision, or she'll add to something I have, or I'll add to something that she has. So it's definitely been fun writing with her.
What is one of the life lessons that she has taught you?
I'll say one of the things is just to be grateful for everything that you have, and just to keep pushing, don't give up. You know, instilling those Christian values in me as a young age as well.
So, love life. The love of our lives. Do we have a love of our life that is your king? That and if so, how does that individual inspire you to keep moving forward?
No, not at the time. No one in my love life. When I wrote the book, I didn't have anyone in my love life. After I wrote the book, I got someone in my love life, which inspired a second book that I had thought about writing. But yeah.
I know for me, one of the things, and I'm going to ask you this question, I'm finding with everything that I do, sometimes it's kind of hard to put yourself out there in the whole dating scene and to do all of that. With the atmosphere in which we live in today, what would you say is your most challenging mindset, or your most challenging thing that you deal with when it comes to the dating scene?
So yeah, the most challenging thing is I guess having that balance between like having so much going on over here, and dealing with the relationship, and them being understanding, and not because I have a lot going on, so not as well as I feel like when I'm meeting somebody new, I have to kind of like ease them into all that I've done and accomplished, so that it does not overwhelm me. So I feel like I deal with that.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. There's a quote out that says to keep your values, your standards, and your heels high. Hearing that quote, what does that say to you?
You say it one more time.
It says to keep your standards, your values, and your heels high.
Yeah, don't settle for less is what I hear in that. Don't settle for less.
So when we say don't settle for less, what does that actually mean?
Just know what you deserve. Know what you bring to the table, and know that you deserve, the same, or more.
If there was one
And
thing that you had to share with another individual as it relates to relationships and where they are seeking relationships or building a relationship, what is a couple of things that you can advise them on to be able to maintain their identity in the midst of a relationship?
yeah, so for one, back to that communication thing, right? Like, one thing I put in my book is that, men are not mind readers, so, sometimes we think that they should know what's going on or why we're upset, but they're not mind readers. So, really, having that open communication is going to be key. And then as well, just supporting each other, make sure that he's doing what he's wants or supposed to do as men, but also that you're supporting him and his dreams and inspiring him as well. So I think like those are two really key important things that will really help build a strong relationship.
Very important. One of the things that I know for myself, because like you, I'm very busy. I have a lot of things going on in my life, but we have to make room for that relationship
Yes.
because we're busy by choice, not out of necessity. It's by choice. And
Mm-hmm.
so when that interested party comes in, and in the beginning of building that relationship, you've got to set time aside so that you can communicate, so that you can spend that quality time together. And so getting them to understand that it's not that I don't need you. I'm making time for you. I've chosen to have you in my life in this period in time as I continue growing. Um, Going back to what we were talking about before about the plays on the Equally Yoked 1 and 2, what are some things that you can advise women specifically to look out for to ensure that they are not entering into an unequally yoked relationship?
We all kind of we get that kind of gut feeling, or those signals that we ignore. Like I said, so sitting down and looking at evaluating your situation and knowing what you desire. So start not treating you right, or is someone that's doesn't have that um that motivation to to keep going or to create more for their life. You want someone that's going to uplift you, that's going to be there for you as much as you are for them. So those are a few things.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you an opportunity to say anything that you want to share with our listening and viewing audience. It can be about upcoming information, anything that you want to share, including your contact information again.
Yes. So definitely go take a look at our three movies, Unequally Yoked and Unequally Yoked, the movie, and Unequally Yoked Part 2 are both on Amazon Prime and Tubi. And our latest release, A Bell Family Christmas, is on Amazon Prime. The upcoming showing of A Bell Family Christmas. And please follow us on social media, JP Pro, and Boss Lady MED. You can find us both on Facebook and Instagram. And like I said, you can connect with me directly via email, bossladymed@gmail.com, or my social media show, Brittany Cherelle.
Brittany, I'll give you another minute to be able to give some words of inspiration to our listening and viewing audience before we log off.
I'll just say, be inspired, keep going, keep pushing. I know sometimes, things get rough and tough, but, just keep going, keep that motivation. And then as well, don't let any negativity come into your space. One thing that I've been doing in the last 1 or 2 years, if you're not bringing positivity, I'm letting people go. You got to keep to people and people that's doing things, positive things around you in your life.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to the Unapologetically Michelle Show with our guest today, Brittany Cherelle. Make sure that you check her out on any of her social media handles, and also check out her movies that are on Prime. One of the things that we want to do is not only bring you talent and let you know what people are doing, but we also want you to support. So this is your girl, Michelle, signing off. Letting you know that you are a gift that has been given to the world. And so now it's time for you to give the world an opportunity to open it, get to know you, and then to be able to honor you and to celebrate you as well. So we'll talk to you later. Have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Michelle, for having me.
You are welcome, Brittany. Thanks for coming on our show.